So welcome back to the channel. You join me at home in the kitchen after our recent events of bad luck, a lot of bad luck with the caravan. You'll have seen in a previous video, if you're a subscriber to the channel, that I did a repair on the caravan windows the other day to just reseal them. You can watch the video and you'll see all about it. But since then, I've had problems with the Land Rover. The Land Rover that everybody told me not to buy. However, I've come up trumps in a way, because the Land Rover that I looked at originally was a private sale. So it was a car that would have had no warranty, etc. And if you remember from a while back, I stepped away from that car and actually went and bought a Land Rover with a dealer so that I got approved used warranty. Now at the moment, Land Rover are giving a year's approved warranty. However, the dealer that I went with up at York, Lloyd's, they actually offered me 2 years parts and labour warranty, which is why I went for the car. You have to excuse me sweating, it's bloody hot here. So I got 2 years parts and labour warranty with the car, and it's actually come up trumps already, because this morning when I went out to the car, there's an engine management light on. Now I never get too scared with these things. They'll throw an engine management light up for anything, these cars will. I mean, they even throw an error up when there's a bit of low pressure in the tyres now, don't they? So I wasn't too bothered. I rang Land Rover Assist and the AA came out to the car. They've come out and plugged it in and told me it's to do with the DPF. I know a little bit about cars, and I know that these DPFs, they can soot up and they can clog if you're doing short journeys. The car's not getting warm enough, nor is the exhaust. However, I do long journeys, so that shouldn't be a problem. What it is, we think, is in the exhaust you've got a little igniter which lights a fire basically in the exhaust to build up exhaust gas temperatures. And we think that that igniter's not working, and therefore it's thrown up an error code on the dash. Anyway, long story short, I'm now without a car. So the AA came to look at it. They've taken it into Land Rover, and this is where it's really good so far. So kudos to Land Rover and kudos to the AA so far, because they came out to the car. AA took the car in, he left his van here. He then came back with his boss, picked his van up, off they went, I'm carless. CMAC Group, CMAC Group, have just rang me, who provide the courtesy cars for Land Rover, and they've sorted me a Land Rover 110 with a tow bar. At first they were going to give me a Velar. I said, unfortunately that's no good, I need a tow bar because of towing ROVER. So they've sorted me a Land Rover 110. Now I'm waiting for a taxi to pick me up, and again, really good of them. They said, can you get to the vehicle? I said, I'm a bit stuck with having no car, and they said, we'll send a taxi. So I'm now waiting for an Uber to come to pick me up, to take me to Stafford Land Rover to go and pick the 110 up, and there my Land Rover should be sat. Oh, and I took the wheels off and swapped them, because there was no way I was sending it in with them 23-inch Carn wheels on, so I've put the originals back on. So it's sitting on the 20-inch black Defender wheels, and they'll fix it and give me a ring when it's ready. But let's get in the taxi, let's get up there, and let's go and have a look at this Defender. So riding in the Uber, it was quite nice to be chauffeur driven, also knowing I haven't got to pay for it. So here we are at Stafford Land Rover. It remains to be seen how this is going to go, but let's go and pick up this courtesy vehicle. It should be alright, because they're expecting me. So walk across here. I've already seen my car, it's over in the corner. The good old Land Rover that's broken. Look at all these Defenders. Anybody after a new car? So upon arrival at the dealership that are fixing my car, I helped myself to a hot chocolate, kindly offered by the staff, and also a chocolate brownie. And here it is, the Defender that I'm taking home in replacement for my Discovery 5. And a nice example it is too. Let's take it somewhere nicer and have a quick look around. So, I haven't got the taxi from home up to Stafford Land Rover. I thought it's only right at the point where I pick it up that I do a bit of a look around it, just to show you, because as you all know, I'm a massive Land Rover fan. So I thought I'd bring it here to my friend's cut stubble field, if you like. A bit Jeremy Clarkson-esque, mixing agriculture with cars. But yeah, I just wanted to have a quick look around it, because Stafford Land Rover have sorted me out here really, and especially the CMAC Group that supply the courtesy cars into Stafford Land Rover now. So previously, when I've dealt with any Land Rover dealership, it's really hard to get hold of a car because they don't necessarily have them. Whereas it seems now that they're working with this group that supply the courtesy vehicles into them, so Land Rover, the dealership, don't have to deal with the customer cars per se. You actually go through CMAC Group, and then they sort the cars out. So CMAC provided this with the tow bar, because they know that we're towing with ROVER, because I told them, and this is what they supplied, and it's only done 18 miles. So it's not running. I've got to take my time in it, which I will do. I'll look after it. But yeah, 18 miles, so it's brand spanking new. And basically I just wanted to show you around it because I'm actually quite pleased with it. I don't know how long it's going to take for the Discovery of mine to be fixed. And to be perfectly honest, I don't care now. So let's have a look. So the colour is a solid colour. The colour's actually Tasman Blue. That's the name that Land Rover decided to give it. Tasman Blue, and like I said, it's solid colour, so no metallic. It's an optional extra, this colour, at £895. But I think you'll agree with me that the colour is absolutely stunning. So upon receiving this vehicle, I do feel ridiculously lucky because, let's be honest, how many dealerships are there across the UK, be it Land Rover or anybody, that supply courtesy vehicles with literally delivery mileage on? Now, I have to admit, when they first brought these Defenders out a few years back, I was really sceptical as whether this Defender could carry the weight of the Defender name, but I actually think they've done a fantastic job and the car's really growing on me. Taking a look inside the car, you'll see the contrasting colours that we've got going on. The black leather interior with the black headlining mixed with the white inlays, I think really suit the car. Whoever spec'd this up needs a pat on the back because they've done a lovely job. I also really like the pan roof with the sunroof in this car. So my Discovery has got the pan roof, but it hasn't got the sunroof. So being able to put the roof back in the summer, absolutely stunning. So that's another big plus to this car. I'm actually going to struggle to give this back because I like it that much. I think the colour suits it, the wheels, etc. Everything's just absolutely spot on. So yeah, it's going to be very hard to say goodbye to this one when the disco is finally fixed. So these end caps, these inserts on the steering wheel, the inserts here and the dash inlay are all options that you can spec and choose as to what you want. So you can decide what colours you want, etc. on the Land Rover website. But I really like the colourway that they've gone for here. The white contrasting with the blue just looks absolutely fantastic. Sticking our head inside the rear here, you'll see that actually there's more room in the back of one of these than the Disco. The Discovery 5 with the sloping roof, etc. You end up with a bit of loss of head height, but in the back of these Defenders they've got loads of room as well as leg room, and as you can see that pan roof's just letting the light flood in. Now going back out to the exterior of the vehicle, the car that we've been given here is the XS model, so it's got the signature headlights, daytime running light LEDs. It's also got a electronic deployable tow bar. So like I said, they did offer me a Velar, however I wanted the tow bar for ROVER and they duly came up with it. As you can see, it just deploys by the simple touch of a button, as does the rear suspension here, which again is really interesting for towing and hitching up your caravan. Don't know if you can see here whilst I'm holding the buttons, I'm trying to demonstrate it, that these two simple buttons in the rear lower and raise the rear suspension so you can attach your trailer without getting in the front. At the moment, I have to lean through my Discovery's window, first world problems I know, because it's still got air suspension, to raise and lower the suspension. However, in these Defenders, you simply open the back door and up and down it goes. And here you can see it rising just by the touch of a button. So very easy to connect your caravan if you've got one of these. I tell you, it's going to be hard to give this car back. So yeah, although we've had a lot of bad luck recently with the caravan windows and Land Rover Discovery 5 going wrong, this is a nice uplifting vehicle to be sat in to sort of soften out the misery and the bit of a blow, if you like. And that's why I believe that these vehicles should be provided by the main dealers if possible, because it just makes the customer that little bit happier in a time when it's actually quite depressing. Nobody wants their car to be going wrong, especially after they've only owned them for 6 months like I have. But getting into a new Defender like this and just enjoying this and really being able to appreciate the brand when you're a little bit down about it is not a bad thing. So we'll enjoy this as a family. I'll go home now, get all the kids' seats in it out of the Discovery, make sure that it's fully kitted out for what we want to do for the next few days or so, however long it takes them to fix it. And like I said, as a family, we'll enjoy this vehicle until the Discovery comes back. That's the update. You're now fully up to date with touring with ROVER and all of our woes. So that's it. Just a really quick look at the Defender that we've been given. How long will the Disco be away for? I don't know. It could be a week, it could be 2 weeks. I know that they're not even going to be able to look at the car until Tuesday because they're actually really busy. I'd have done a bit more recording, etc. within the garage at Stafford Land Rover, but there was a sign stating there that anybody videoing will be prosecuted. So I need to be really careful on that front. I don't want to mention too many names, etc. But this is me basically just giving a bit of good feedback to Land Rover for a change, because a lot of hate and everything's put on the internet about Land Rover, and to be perfectly honest, I don't think it's all justified. I think the product's absolutely fantastic. It must be. That's why people continue to buy them, especially people like myself. Cars can, will, and do go wrong. I've had no end of Land Rovers, and I think all of them have gone wrong. But you've just got to stick by them, iron out the problems, identify that things will go wrong, and you will have to repair cars. Doesn't matter what you're running, you're going to have to repair it over the course of its life. And to be honest, it doesn't put me off the brand at all. I absolutely love Land Rover. Okay, it's not so much British anymore because it's been sold out and it's Tartar, but I still associate the name Land Rover with Great Britain and a British brand. I absolutely love it. And like I said, okay, everybody did kind of say to me that the car would go wrong at some point, and it has, but it hasn't put me off Land Rover whatsoever. I'll continue to back my Discovery, I'll continue to drive it, and I'll continue to fix it if it needs it, because it tows absolutely fantastic. And for what we want towing ROVER, which is a big, heavy caravan, it does it absolutely effortlessly. So that's where we are. I hope nothing else is going to go wrong now. Like I said, we've had the water ingress on ROVER, we've had the car go wrong now. They say that bad luck comes in threes. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully that's it now. But yeah, that's it as a bit of an update, really. Just problem after problem at the minute, especially with the kids being off as well. We could really do with the car being on the road, but this replacement means we'll be able to keep active, keep doing what we do, towing ROVER and getting out and about. So thank you to Land Rover, thank you to CMCAC, or whatever they're called, and thank you to Stafford Land Rover as well, because when I went up there, they were absolutely fantastic. So we'll do a bit of an update when I get it back, and hopefully I'll be able to give you a report on what was wrong with the car and how they managed to fix it, but that won't be until a few days' time. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, follow the channel because you'll see more. See you again.